There is a sense that when you inhabit any city, even Vancouver, which is so young, the design is static, that the city is finished.
Most people are quite alienated from their environment, what's around. They don't know how the city got created. They don't know the places they use every single day. They don't really know how they got there or how they changed, and they don't feel that they can be a part of that change.
What if, we asked ourselves, we could give people a chance to not just come up with new designs for public space, but to realize those designs, to make those designs out in public? Here at the museum, we see the city as an artifact, which is not to say the city is something static and dull and boring, but we're interested in the city, just like we're interested in the objects in our collection.
Last summer we met, and the museum had an idea to use recycled expanded polystyrene as a medium for a public space build project.
All the information we were given was that it would be out of styrofoam and that we had to design one module that connected and could be used in different ways, and that was about it. And soon after that we went to the Mansonville factory.
Out in the yard, our friend Jack Liu showed us these huge mounds of material, old used blocks of polystyrene that were bound for the landfill, and they had been rescued by Mansonville Plastics. He told us we could use this material, we could make our own new blocks and build whatever we wanted with it.
Seeing that, I think, is what really informed my design. So I wanted to create a unit that was easy for them to manufacture and didn't have a lot of waste, and yet connected in an interesting way. So I started thinking about using the leftovers as something that interacted with the block as well.
With my design, the 3x3, I actually approached it from started looking at Chinese temples and how they generate columns.
Oh, this is much nicer than the one that I was making with my old one.
So over the spring, we held a series of public workshops at the museum. First, people proposed wild new ideas for public space in the city. Then they brainstormed how these ideas could be realized using these new building blocks.
The design professionals are the beginning, but it is people that have to create the energy in a place.
We don't imagine static installations. We imagine a day of creation and destruction. And more creation and destruction. Designs, buildings, mountains, structures, games, rising and falling, rising and falling.
People are surprisingly good architects. So they talk to people and they're like solving problems. One guy had his table he sat on fall in, so he started to like re-engineer the next table to like distribute the weight differently.
In some ways, this day of play will help people realize viscerally, not just that the city's changing, but they play a role in it, and they can play any role they want.
What I'm hoping it'll do is leave a kind of residue and a set of memories of a very intense and inventive day when a street was transformed about 20 times.
There's this great line from William Gibson about how the street finds its use for things. Everything has an unintended purpose. And when you give the people who were never trained how to use it, they come up with amazing ideas you never thought of.
This project is just one part of a journey. The museum sees the entire city as a laboratory. Today, we played with public space. What should we do tomorrow?